If God gives you a chance to start all over again, what will you do with your time? This man leisurely, basking in the sun by the pool. He observes the time on the watch from time to time. It seems to be waiting for something to happen. Suddenly a ball flew over. It hits a girl passing by. He gets up and walks forward. Just grabs her who is about to fall into the water. The coincidence is perfectly orchestrated. He chats with the girl. They spend an afternoon happily. The man escorts the girl to the door before leaving. But the girl doesn't mean to let him in and gives him a seat. Mark comes here every day according to a fixed route. He does not hesitate to repeat this operation thousands of times, just to pick up the girl. Turns out this man is called Mark. He suddenly falls into the loop of time in one day. Mark wakes up on time at 7:30 every morning. Every day his father and his sister would say the same thing to him. What happens every time on this day? He knows everything. He takes a pair of sunglasses, the coffee on the car roof, remind passers-by where to put the key, and use a clip to help ladies on the road tidy up the unintentionally turned over skirt. All actions are smooth and easy. Since Mark has inexhaustible time every day, he always has to find something to do. 11:30 noon every day, Mark, who is without a driver's license, will slip to the construction site and drive away someone else's forklift, buy a lottery ticket with a number already known, pretend to be a surprise with the neighborhood leader. No matter how much money he makes, it will start over the next day. Mark has a friend Tom. He is a game enthusiast. Tom plays this game every day, but the ending has never changed. Even if Mark tells him that he is stuck in a time loop every day, Tom will still forget the next day. Days go by. Repeating this life is very boring. He tries to learn music, also practices drawing, but his greatest pleasure is to still go to the swimming pool every day to meet this yellow-skinned girl. But this day something that has never happened. A girl with curly hair suddenly walked by. She catches the ball that hit the girl. The people of the town repeat the same actions every day. There has never been such an exception. Look at this girl with blonde curly hair. Mark decides to follow up and finds out. And the girl just drives away. He only finds the only clue. Mark confuses. He dials the number on the dog hunting notice, but it came from the voice of a middle-aged man. In order to find this girl, he has been to a veterinary hospital or even a pet shop, but no trace of her was found. Mark goes to the swimming pool the next day. That girl never shows up again. Tom asks him to go to the restaurant to look. After all, everyone needs to eat. As expected, Mark finds the book left by the girl. He chases out the door. The bus ignores his call. The girl Margaret doesn't actually leave. She finds Mark's tracking. Just treat Mark as an ordinary tracker. She prepares to leave. Mark stops her. Through a conversation, Mark confirms Margaret being stuck in a time loop like himself. He is very happy. People who he sees every day are like robots. They repeat the same conversation. He is tired of this kind of life. Mark takes Margaret to share the fragments of a life he can see every day in the town. He takes what is about to happen. Mark tells Margaret, life is trivial. Surprises are everywhere. Happy time always flies very fast. At the time of separating, Mark mustered up his courage to take Margaret's contact information, lying on the bed and remembering Margaret's phone number. He doesn't want to forget tomorrow. The girl who is also trapped on this day, every night at 12 o'clock, time will start to refresh. For most people, wake up every day is a brand new day. And for a very small number of people, it may be repeated every day. Mark encounters this situation. He picks up the phone the first time. He starts to play tricks to make Margaret happy. He sends a selfie today, shave his head tomorrow, cuts a Mexican the day after tomorrow. Anyway, his hairstyle will change back the next day. Margaret was finally touched by Mark's persistence. She agrees to meet Mark in the library. Margaret takes Mark to a place. While she is helping to find a dog, she happens to find this place. After a period of waiting, they find an eagle that is praying. Every day after that, they will make an appointment to go to every corner of the town. Get a long day and night. Mark feels good about Margaret. But Margaret receives a call from a man called Jared every day. Margaret will always leave at this moment. Mark puts forward his opinion. Why not try to find some way to see if they can get out of the time loop? Margaret rejects his opinion. Mark decides to check who is the person named Jared. That makes him be out of worry about unknown rivals. Mark can only find Tom to talk. Tom tells Mark, if he wants to know what Margaret thinks, then he should prepare some surprises for her. Mark listens to Tom's proposal, take Margaret to come to the gym the next day. Use an empty bottle to open the door that is about to close. They come to a spaceship made of cardboard boxes. Marl uses waste paper boxes and lighting props to simulate the inside as the moon. Margaret looks at Mark. There is a gleam in her beautiful big eyes. They eat the space food made by Mark. Margaret asks Mark, why does he do all this? Mark doesn't tell Margaret the reason. He lets Margaret ride his bike, take her from the moon back to Earth. Then they wander around the Earth again. Finally, Mark returns home with Margaret. Women are also moved by courageous nerds. Mark couldn't help but open his heart to Margaret. The worried Margaret rejects him. Mark, who gets hit, sit on the roof thinking about life. He decides to take Margaret out of this time cycle. He finds the professor at the school the next day. He asks questions about time loops. The professor does not give a specific case, just gives him a suggestion. Theoretically, if the time loop is a singular point, maybe you can escape from this point in time by plane. Mark takes Margaret on a flight to Japan that night. When Mark wears a blindfold chatting with Margaret, but doesn't receive any response from her, he takes off his blindfold and runs to the hatch. The plane has taken off. Margaret, who is already in the waiting room, makes her choice. She doesn't follow Mark through time together. Mark endures the torment in his heart. Time reaches 12 o'clock in a blink of an eye. He opens his eyes and finds he is still in bed, experienced various twists and turns. He is still back to the starting point. Mark's heart fluctuates. He doesn't look for Margaret. Mark still wanders along the same route, but he seems to be a different person. He puts the winning lottery ticket on the table of passers-by, feeling their joy. He still drives around with a forklift, rescue the stray cats trapped in the tree. He still integrates into the daily life of the elderly in the community, dancing with them. Applause for the electrician working in the restaurant for their passion for piano. He reaps the joy of others. Let them live a day that is not repeated. Mark is no longer their observer. Start trying to be a participant in life. However, beginners always have to pay the price. Mark falls down the steps with a skateboard. He is taken to the hospital. He is bored on the hospital bed. Mark accidentally sees Margaret. He follows her to a ward. He hears Dr. Gerard's instructions to Margaret. It turns out that Margaret's mother is in the terminal stage of cancer because of the critically ill mother. So she doesn't want to get out of this time loop. Mark doesn't bother Margaret. Waking up the next day, he doesn't sleep in bed anymore, but rushing downstairs and embraces the mother who has been on the night shift. Margaret tells her little secret to her mother. The mother, who has been troubled by the disease for a long time, just tells she is young. It's never too late. Mark always wants to escape this time loop. He thinks his encounter with Margaret is a romance, but he doesn't expect Margaret is the protagonist in this story. When Margaret solves the nut, she finds Mark again. The most beautiful moment in this town is here. Their time loop is broken. Maybe each of us are the protagonists in the time loop. Some people are love stories. Some people are sad stories. Just try to change. Cherish the people and things in front of you. You will definitely seize your opportunity in 2021 to become a better version of yourself. Thank you for watching. Follow my page to watch more film review.